a gaming IEM for gaming, by a gamer, for gamers, and gaming. I actually didn't game much with it yet, but we are going to review the Arete from ZiiGaat. Feels like every video I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce stuff. The Arete was sent in by ZiiGaat for review. It's kind of funny because to me, I speak Spanish, so Arete is earring. A lot less badass than the actual meaning behind the name of this IEM. And just a disclaimer, I didn't game much with this set yet. I will be gaming with the set soon, I hope. I'm in the middle of a move currently. I'm setting up a dedicated YouTube office, and we're going to be in there this time next week, hopefully. So in about 6 days. Also, I completely forgot. I just turned on the camera and started yapping. This is actually a collaborative IEM. It's between ZiiGaat and Fresh Reviews, who is an ex-pro gamer. So if you do want my gaming impressions on this set, I'll probably work on that at some point. But today we're going to just be talking about general use and audio, music, you know, what we usually do around here. So the Arete is a hybrid. 1 dynamic driver, 4 balanced armatures. Comes in at $249. Fans of this channel know that this is one of my favorite configurations when you have 1 dynamic driver and a few BAs sprinkled in there. A lot of the sets that I really like tend to have a similar configuration. As far as the unboxing goes, it wasn't much. It was very plain. The packaging is very simple, compact, which is nice. You know, sometimes I feel like a lot of sets waste extra materials and space for no reason, but overall it was just a bit too simplistic for me. It left me wanting a little bit more, just something. I don't know what, but something. Presentation was fine. Like, you open the box, IEMs are sitting there waiting for you. The case has pretty much everything else in it. The accessories, you get what you need, but it is basically just that. You get the necessities and nothing extra. Quality of the accessories is actually pretty good though. The cable overall is okay. It's usable. It's not something that you're gonna need to replace, and that's the same with everything else in this packaging. I do hate when sets have something that you clearly need to replace right away. It's like, why am I buying this item if I have to replace stuff right away? But the cable's usable. It feels like it might stiffen up after maybe a year or so of use if it just has that slightly cheaper feel to it, but it's comfortable. It's lightweight. No issues with it in use. The ear tips though are very similar to the ones from Awful, which I really like. They are a little stiff, so I feel like some people might not like that, but I really like them. They're very comfortable. They're a little bit on the bigger side though, so I had to go to the smallest size. As for the case, it is a good size, just slightly bigger, I guess, technically, than one of those circular hockey puck style cases. But because it is a little bit more square, you get a little bit more space. It's kind of like Wendy's with their burger patties. Because they're square, you get more. Look at my fat ass making that comparison. The zipper on the case though is a little rough, so sometimes a little annoying to zip and unzip. I mean, unless you have a cat like I do that likes to murder cables, you shouldn't have any problems unless you're like, you know, constantly taking in and out of the case. But if you can just leave it on your desk, it's not going to matter much. But the case does have room for everything and a little bit extra. So you can put your IEMs in there, you can put your cable in there, you can put the ear tips in there, and room for something else. I don't know, maybe you want to put a dongle in there, or I don't know, Tic Tacs, like some gum. I don't know, what do you gamers carry around? Maybe like drugs, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Ibuprofen. Yeah, there we go. Ibuprofen for your headaches. Yeah. So overall, at the price point, what you get feels a little low, just quantity wise. So like maybe an extra set of ear tips would have been nice instead of just 1 set, even if they were the same one. So you just have replacements in case you lose one or once they wear out. The cable is fine. No swappable termination, but usually with swappable terminations, I don't find myself using them anyways, because you're just going to use the one that you use the most anyways. But yeah, it just feels like the overall product is bare bones, but they executed well on those bones that they chose. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into what's really important here, and actually the most impressive part of this set, the sound, right? That's all what you guys are here for. Nobody cares about what something looks like, what something feels like. It's just what it sounds like. You guys just want what the IEM sounds like. Well, overall, the set is very fun. I actually really like this set. It was pretty refreshing, a little bit different, subtly different. It's not like it's a drastically different IEM than a lot of other stuff, but all those little subtle and nuanced differences really add up and made it feel like a very different IEM. So let's go ahead and put up the graph. All right, so go ahead and sniff your graph. Let's get started with the bass. So bass was my favorite part about the set. And this is where the set lives and dies. It lives and dies by its bass presentation. There was a lot of tracks where the bass was just really fun because it's very engaging. It's super visceral. You feel the bass. It can be sometimes a little bit intrusive, not too much, but on some stuff it does bleed into the mids. But it, like, again, it's just really fun. You get a lot of physicality with the bass. You feel it, not just hear it, and that's what makes it very engaging. But also because it's so intrusive and kind of brute, it feels like sometimes it just lacks the little bit of nuance in between the bass notes. It's just kind of a binary bass. It's on and off, and that's it on some tracks. Other tracks it does a lot better, so it could easily be a track thing, but it was just something that was very noticeable as I went from track to track. For example, in Party O'Clock by NMix, when the bass comes in, mostly the sub bass, not the mid bass, the sub bass, it just feels like it just turns on and the entire room fills up with it. It is a very imposing bass. It's very fun. Like, I enjoyed it, but like I said, it does veil some of the mids sometimes, or sometimes it can just be a little bit overwhelming. But like I said, I had a lot of fun. And now for the mids, like I mentioned, bass sometimes comes in and veils them a bit. The mids aren't super intense. They're not held back, but they are effortless. They don't feel like there's any strain on vocals. They're just emphasized just a bit. They're there. There's decent clarity there, but they're not too intense, and sometimes take a back seat to the bass. Like in The Weekend by BB, her vocals are there. They're full. They lack a little bit of intensity and sometimes feel a little husky. So they have plenty of body, but sometimes just not enough of the airiness to them, which is something that shows up in the treble as well. Treble is not super sparkly, but there's enough there for some good definition. It's just missing that shimmer and sparkle. But also, as a result, they're very non-fatiguing. So just overall, like, the little delicate sounds don't come through as sharp as I'm used to with some sets. So in like Unlasting by Lisa, there's a lot of little delicate sounds that just sometimes tend to get like too lost or don't come in through sharp enough. They're a little dulled and a little blunted. They don't have the little bit of the extra definition around the sound, which is basically overall how the set is. Like, if you were looking at like the tech performance on these, it's not going to be super resolving. A lot of the little finer micro detailing doesn't come through as precise, but the overall separation imaging makes like the macro detailing, like all the big details, well separated. And staging is really nice on this, and this is another reason that the set is so fun, is because the staging is very immersive. It envelops you. You're like in the music, it's around you, but it also can throw things around, so it makes for an overall very engaging listen. And there is a layering effect to the staging, so stuff doesn't sound cluttered, even though it doesn't sound like it's a very wide stage, but it can throw stuff forward and back, and it makes it really fun. So overall, this set with this sound performance and this price, it's an easy rec rating of 2 for me. If there was a little bit, more value to it, like more accessories, which even though you don't need more, like honestly, you're going to get by fine if you just buy this, which is, again, something that's very easy to recommend, because I hate when I recommend stuff to friends and family that aren't into the hobby. They just want something good. This is going to easily make its way to like my brother-in-law, my other brother-in-law, and my little brother. They're probably going to get a set of these from me because it's all there. They're going to be able to just, plug it in and use it, which is very important to me. So you get everything you need. You don't have to replace anything. Yeah, it would be nicer if there was a little bit more stuff in there, or maybe just a little bit of something to add a little bit more value. But sound, the performance overall, I know there was quite a bit of nitpicks I had for it, but honestly, overall, the experience is very fun and it's very good. The techs are pretty good. Overall, the set is adequate at its price. So it's an easy rec rating 2, something you want to demo, maybe wait for a sale, but it's honestly worth checking out and getting if you think it's something that sounds like you would enjoy. But at this point, these are probably top 5, maybe top 3 my favorite collaborative IEMs. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for tuning in. Please consider subscribing to the channel or leaving a like and a comment really helps. And until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.